Welcome back everyone to another video. Today I'm going to be explaining all the key vocabulary from the story we heard about Snow White. If you haven't heard the story, you must go and hear the story on the YouTube channel, listen to it very carefully, and then come to this video and learn all important vocabulary you need to know to make your English better, more elegant, more fluent, and more British, because that's what you want. So, without further ado, let's get started. The story starts by saying that Snow White's mother had died and she had to live with her wicked stepmother. Wicked. Wicked. Now, the word wicked is very interesting because it has two completely different meanings. The first meaning of the word wicked means extremely bad, evil, someone who is absolutely atrocious, somebody who is vile. This is wicked. For example, I think it is wicked what the government is doing at the moment to our country. They have no consideration for us at all. It is wicked. Or you could say the Holocaust, of course, from the Nazis was wicked. They killed 6 million Jews. This was something that we can say was wicked. It was very bad. However, wicked can also mean cool. I know many of you might think, how can wicked mean cool? For example, I could say, wow, I love your new hairstyle. It's wicked. It means it's very good. So be careful when it comes to wicked. Try and find out if it's a positive or a negative meaning. Snow White was very beautiful. Her skin was as white as snow, her hair as black as ebony wood, and her lips were as red as a red rose. Something is as something as something. For example, my house is as big as your house. Or another example, is India as big as China? Is India as big as China? You are trying to make a comparison of equal dimensions. My dad is as successful as your dad. You are making a comparison of an equal dimension. The Queen was also very beautiful, but very vain. 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 If you are vain, it means you are constantly looking at yourself in the mirror. Now, can anyone identify with that? I'm sure quite a few of you can. I think we're all guilty of that sometimes. We like to look at ourselves in the mirror for quite a long time. If you are one of these people, I'm afraid you are considered to be vain. However, the noun is vanity. I would say that being vain is when you get to an extreme of looking at yourself and being worried about your appearance. If you just like to look at yourself in the mirror from time to time, you are not vain. You are only vain if you like to look at yourself in the mirror and think how amazing you are and how you are better than other people. Then you are vain. Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all? Who is the fairest of all? Fair means someone who is white-skinned or with, like, for example, fair hair. If you have fair hair, it means that you've got light-coloured hair. Now, unfortunately, I'm not naturally this colour, although I'm sure many of you thought I was. No, just joking. We call these highlights when you have a bit of blonde in your hair. Not all over the place, but we call these highlights. So I can say I have highlights. But this is my natural colour, and I would say that this is also fair hair. Okay, it's not blonde, but it's fair. But in this case, when we use the word who is the fairest of them all, in this case it means who is the most beautiful of them all. But the Queen was still jealous of Snow White. Jealous. If you are jealous, it means that you want something that someone else has, or you want to be the way someone else is. You are jealous of them. The word is jealous. Jealous. Have you ever been jealous of a sibling? or someone at work? Have you been jealous of someone's abilities? Have you been jealous of somebody's lifestyle? I'm sure we all have been at times, but jealous is also referred to when your husband or wife is talking with someone else and you're like, who is he talking to? Or who is she talking to? And you get angry because you are jealous. At that very moment, Snow White was singing beside the castle well. A handsome prince who was passing by stopped to listen. Pass by. Pass by. When you pass by, you are literally walking next to the person. So for example, I could go to my friend's house and say, oh, hi, John, how are you? I was just passing by. Do you want to go and have a cup of tea? Or do you want to go shopping? Or let's go to the cinema. I was just passing by. It means I was in the area and I wanted to say hi. When the Queen saw Snow White with the prince, she was furious. Furious. It means very angry. One day after the Queen had spoken to her magic mirror, the mirror replied, famed is thy beauty, Majesty. But behold, a lovely maid I see. Famed is thy beauty. Thy is an Old English word to refer to your beauty. Famed means it is famous. Famed is thy beauty. But we don't use this a lot. In today's English, we would say your beauty is well known or it's famous. But this is Old English. But in any case, it's good to know. But behold, a lovely may I see. Behold, behold. This is also a very old word which refers to listen to me, or everybody must know this. Behold, a lovely maid I see. It's to give an announcement. For example, behold, the new king is here, or the new prince is born. Behold. The Queen was furious. Snow White, she hissed. Hiss. Can you say hiss? If you hiss, you go, oh, you're so angry. Literally, it refers to the sound that a snake makes. The snake hissed. It's onomatopoeia. The snake hissed. In this case, it refers to the fact that she was very angry. She hissed. She will not be more beautiful than me, she hissed, for example. She said in an angry way. The next morning, the Queen told her huntsman to take Snow White into the forest and kill her. A huntsman is someone who hunts. Bring back her heart to prove she is dead. Prove. Prove. This word means you need to show evidence. For example, oh, do you know that my Italian language skills are just so amazing? I am fluent in Italian. And someone says to me, okay, prove it. Speak to me in Italian. And then you're like, ciao, mi chiamo Rich, mi piace molto la pizza, and then you don't know what else to say. So therefore, you can't prove that you speak Italian fluently, as you said you do. He then took an animal's heart to show the Queen that the princess was dead. Snow White wandered deep into the forest. She wandered. Wander. Wander. If you wander into the forest, it means you walk into the forest. She was very scared, but the animals led her to a cottage. A cottage. A cottage. A cottage is a small little house in the countryside. And in England, a lot of our cottages have thatched roofs. The roofs are made of hay, and they are very beautiful, and it is something that is quintessential about Britain. She wondered who could live in such a tiny house. Be careful. We previously heard about wander, and this is wonder. We have wander and wonder. Now, wander, as I said, is when you walk. I'm going to go for a wander. I'm going for a walk. And wonder means you think to yourself. She wondered who could live in such a little tiny house. And now we're going to come to the last part of this Language Explorer video, and then there'll be more later. There were 7 dusty little chairs at the table. Dusty, dusty. If something is dusty, it means there is dust on it. In the sink, there were 7 dirty spoons and bowls. The sink, sink. Now, sink is also a verb, like a boat can sink. But also as a noun, the sink is the place where you wash your hands for 20 seconds. Remember? 20 seconds washing your hands in the COVID pandemic. Oh, I really hope this doesn't come back again. And in the bedroom, there were 7 unmade tiny beds. Unmade. Unmade. The verb is to make your bed. So if a bed is unmade, it means you haven't made it. It means it's untidy. I wonder how many of you can identify with this. Do you make your bed in the morning, everyone? Remember, you have to make your bed. If you are children listening to this, make sure you make your bed. Don't wait for your parents to make your bed. Perhaps untidy children live here, Snow White said. Perhaps. Perhaps. This is another way of saying maybe. Have you heard of the song? Perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. It's a very famous song. You should definitely listen to it. In any case, we've come to the end of this video. I look forward to seeing you soon in another video where I will continue to explain all the language from Snow White. Have a great day. See you soon.